All right. What's up, good people? Gonna do a quick show here tonight, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about what some of you guys may have watched. Hopefully you guys watched it. And yeah, preseason, man. So we're gonna jump into this thing really quick, guys. And I'm just gonna allow some of you guys to get up in here, and then we'll get it rolling. Welcome to the Terrible Towel post-game show, the first one of the season, and we're going to talk a little bit about the preseason here. I got the game still on as they're trying to figure out whether this was a fumble recovery or not. And I'm not going to be too long tonight, man. I have company upstairs. I can't be long. I'm not even taking phone calls tonight, so we're just going to jump in, jump out. I just wanted to get back into the habit of doing the post-game show just so you guys can expect that to come. And like I said, we're going to start picking up the pace. All right, so let's go ahead and, let's talk to the chat really quick. And then again, I'll give you guys the rundown and we'll be in and out. And I promise it's going to be short. I have company upstairs that came in from New York. I'm being rude, but anything for our Steelers, right? So give me just a second really quick, man. Let me share the link with a few special people. And then we will jump into it. And how's everybody doing tonight, man? I hope everybody's good. And confirm, guys, that you can hear me. Make sure everything, the levels and all that are okay. Because I've kind of changed up my software here a little bit. So just let me know and make sure everybody can hear me pretty good. You guys can confirm that. Somebody said Dobbs going to get traded. Everybody says it's good. All right, cool. So give me a hot second, guys, real quick. Let me send this to Floyd. My young brother-in-law, Jamar. And I'm going to shoot it to father-in-law, Leonard. And I'll shoot it to my brother, Tony, as well. Tony and Kenyon, get them up in here. All right, guys, we're going to do a quick roll call, man. Really quick. Real quick roll call, man. Really quick here. Steelers fan 19, Michael Garman, Ollie Howard, Gold Drip, Champagne Poppy, Wide Diggy. Vista Light, Fun Guy. Who else we got in here? Donnell Howard, Patrick Covington. How you doing, sir? I believe that's Patrick Covington Sr. Who else? All of the above. YBZ Resby, Alan Sanchez, Christian Gonzalez, Nays is in the building. And I think that's all we'll call out right now. Jay Wall is in the building as well. So let's get right into it, guys. And like I said, you might hear me repeat this a couple times here. This is going to be a quick stream for the most part. I have company here that came in tonight from New York. I'm being rude, but they understand this is what we do. Not taking any phone calls or anything tonight, guys, because, again, I don't want to be extremely rude. I just wanted to check in with you guys and get the pulse of Steeler Nation and give my quick thoughts on what I saw here in tonight's game. And these are just quick thoughts. I'm sure we'll come back on Terrible Towel Tuesday and we'll break it down even further. But here's some of the quick things I noticed, man. And first, let me see what they're calling here. Is it a fumble? Probably not, because that ball bounced around all over the place. As I still have the game on here. Let me see what they're talking about. For you guys who are not watching, it's 1 minute and 23 seconds left. It was not a fumble. The ball is back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's 2nd and 8. Steelers are up 30-22. So we'll see if we can put the game away. All right, so the first thing I noticed, man, let's talk about some of the lower tier guys, and then we'll get into our dogs, who really showed up tonight. Chooks. Chooks, a core 4, didn't have the best night tonight. You guys are going to see me continue to look over and back at you guys. I'm just looking to see how the game is going to finish up. But, I can multitask. I can walk and chew gum at the same time, if you will. Chooks, core 4, I think that's how you say his name. As the Tampa Bay Buccaneer quarterback just completed a deep shot there. Down to what? Let me see. Where are they? Not a first down yet, but they're down to our 20-yard line. 3rd and 6. Down to our 18-yard line. Chooks didn't have a good night, man. He got a couple penalties called on him, so he looked kind of bad. I'm not ready to give up on him or anything like that. He just didn't have the best night tonight. Then again, this is going against guys who are 2nd and 3rd string. What other notes do I have here? A negative thing that I noticed, I know this is preseason, so I'm not going to read too much into it. But Coach Tomlin, I don't understand that challenge on the fumble on the kickoff. I believe it was in the third quarter. Don't necessarily understand that. And it looks like we just got another sack. J.T. Jones, I believe, was on that sack along with, looks like maybe Ulysses Gilbert. And you guys are going to hear some background noise. You probably are hearing a lot of laughter. This is my wife and, her cousin from New York and their little girl and her husband. So, like I said, we're having a good time here tonight, man. And they understood I was going to come down here and do this really quick. So I'm kind of all over the place tonight, but I'm going to bring Steeler Nation the best I can. And 4th and 11. So let's do that real quick because I'm not really paying so much attention to you guys. I apologize. But let's see what's going to happen here on 4th and 11, and I'll get back into, breaking down a few little things that I have on tonight's game. Let's see if we can put it away here. Gilbert is playing well also. Yeah, man, I'm going to talk about Gilbert. I see some of you guys are putting him in the chat. 4th and 11, and they do pick it up. Big time hit by, they're going to throw a flag. I don't know if they're going to call helmet to helmet, but that was a big hit across the middle, but it looks like they're going to pick up the first down. And it looks like, what are they calling here? They're calling unnecessary roughness, leading with the helmet. What are they calling here? I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit, guys, so I can see who that was. Marcellus Branch is the guy who laid the tackle here. Yeah, outcome don't really matter, but y'all know. I just want to, They call him defenseless receiver. But anyway, all right, y'all right. It really don't matter. It really don't matter. Let's go ahead and get into this because I can't be long tonight. All right, let's get into it. So let's talk about the negatives first. Again, Mike Tomlin, I don't know why they challenged that fumble on the kickoff. I hope we're not going down that road again. I'm not going to hold too much weight on that because it's preseason, and I know Terrell Austin is going to be helping him with challenges and things like that, but I definitely didn't like that challenge. And I want to see if there's any other negative things I got here before we get into the positives. I don't think so. So that's about it. Let's get into some positives, shall we? First thing I noticed right out the gate, on the first opening kickoff, Benny Snell makes the tackle on the opening kickoff. Great to see that. And Benny Snell had himself a pretty decent game. It looked like what I would expect from Benny Snell. He had some powerful runs. He was able to get on the edge a little bit. Didn't have too many explosive plays, but he has some decent runs, and he looks like what I think Benny Snell can be for us. So it's good to see him playing a good amount of the game, and it definitely looked like he was getting stronger as he continued to play. So really appreciated his effort. I think Benny Snell had a good showing. Devin Bush, man. Devin Bush looked like a madman out there. And even on some of the plays that didn't necessarily go positively for us, just watching him play sideline to sideline, making the tackles, watching him in pass coverage, almost came up with a pick. Probably could have had a pick six had he caught it. Devin Bush was all over the field, man, for the time that he was out there. So I thoroughly enjoyed what I saw from Devin Bush. Makes me feel really good to see him hit the ground running. And I know it's only preseason, week 1, but it's very good to see Devin Bush looking like that early. And let's see here. It looks like the Bucks did get into the end zone. Are they going to go for 2 and tie this game up? Cam Kelly also was flying around on the field a little bit. I saw him on that first possession by the Bucks, come up and help out with run coverage. So I saw him make a couple tackles, and, he looks a bit rangy. Didn't really get an opportunity to, really see him in pass, coverage. Again, I'm going to have to watch the game again. So by the time, we come back on Terrible Towel Tuesday, I'll really have some better assessments of some of these guys. I'll focus in on some of these guys that we want to keep an eye on. Cam Kelly is definitely one of those guys because, again, he could be a guy that hangs around and makes the 53-man roster and be that backup safety for Sean Davis. And, I know that they've been working him in the slot a little bit. And, yeah, you know what I mean? So I think Cam Kelly is a guy we need to keep our eyes on. Justin Lane. Let's talk about Justin Lane a little bit, man. I think Justin Lane looks a bit raw, which is to be expected. You know, kind of some of the things that we all said about him in college. He has his good moments. He has his not so good moments. He seems to be a guy that's going to be more beneficial in man. From what I did see from him, I like him playing man coverage a bit better than I liked Artie Burns already at this point. Again, this is early, but just looking at how close he sticks to the receiver and looking at how he's able to get a jam a bit better than Artie already. He's still raw. We're going to have to work with him. You know, we were playing some off coverage, and I hope that was just Butler just trying some things. I hope that's not something that we're going to be looking to do this season. But for the most part, Justin Lane looked a bit raw. He missed a tackle on that first possession when the Buccaneers scored. You know, he gave up the touchdown. That missed tackle cost us the touchdown. So I want to see him pick his head up, and I want to see him, you know, see what he's tackling. You know, don't just put your head down and wish for the best. You got to see the tackle, young man. So, again, this is early, and this is what preseason is all about, man. It's not about calling a guy a bum or a bust this early. I know some people are going to do that. Preseason is about you seeing exactly what these guys have to offer and just, you know, look for the rough edges, look for what they need to correct, and look for their potential. You know, that's basically what you want to see out of preseason. Joshua Dobbs. You know, Joshua Dobbs wasn't great. He made some decent throws. He made some horrible throws. But he does give us that added dimension, man. When the pressure comes, he can take off running. He showed his wheels off tonight. You know, he had a long run down the field. And then he did make a couple throws that, you know, were pretty decent, you know, with a clean pocket. He still doesn't appear to be the guy that's going to get you over the hump, if you will. You know, I still don't have the comfort in him so far after just thinking back to how he looked in the Raider game. I don't really see a big improvement from that. But again, I'm not ready to throw the cards in on him yet either. We're a long time away from, man, making a decision on these guys. But I'm just going off of the eye test tonight. You know what I saw tonight? Dobbs can still run. Makes a smart decision to take off and run, and he can make some things happen when he runs. You know, he has some mobility, so that could be a thing that might keep him on the roster. The Steelers are probably going to keep, you know, 3 quarterbacks, I would assume. And you would assume it would be Dobbs and Rudolph behind Big Ben. Mason Rudolph made some pretty decent throws tonight. You know, he looked a little better to me. Looks like he had a little more zip on some of his throws. Not perfect, but he looked a little more comfortable, man. He stood in the pocket pretty well, and he made some decent throws as well. He also had some throws that weren't as great, but I think as far as tonight, from a pure quarterback standpoint, Mason Rudolph probably outplayed Joshua Dobbs. Next on the list, James Washington. Hello, James. Nice to meet you. I mean, even the touchdown that wasn't a touchdown because he couldn't quite get that first foot down, James Washington was balling out there. Did y'all see that? We can get that kind of consistency from James Washington with Ben Roethlisberger. Mind you, keep in mind, he was doing this with Dobbs and Rudolph. Okay, James. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. You know, and they kept saying that it was certain guys that, you know, may have been moving up higher on the depth chart than Washington. Nah, I think Washington put all that to rest tonight. James Washington was getting off, and I enjoyed what I saw out of James Washington. Now, speaking of that, here's another guy who got off. Did y'all see Johnny Holton? Hey, man. Hey. This receiver position, yeah, a little more interesting than we thought. I'm going to tell you right now, guys like Eli and guys like Switzer could be in a bit of trouble. Here's the reason why. We know we're going to keep 6. Deontay Spencer did a couple decent things tonight, had a solid return. Okay? He showed some quickness and you know, some capability late in the game as well. Excuse me. He could easily take one of those guys' spots in terms of being a return guy. Gave him a lot of chances tonight, and he did have a decent return, right? But then you got to look at a guy like Johnny Holton. This is what I've been saying, man. You know, now that he's healthy, this is a guy that has speed. This is a younger DHB, but a guy who showed himself tonight. He might be a little better than what Darius Haywood-Bay was, you know, in terms of being a receiver. Might be hard to cut him, you know what I mean, when we're going to need some more speed. And Ben likes to take these deep shots. He looked good, man. I love that super long, you know, catch and run that he had. You know, great spin move in the middle of the field and gets all the way down to what, about the 6-7 yard line. Looked good. And they said that he's been showing up in camp, you know, since he's been healthy. And then we saw it on display tonight and made some other good catches. It's going to be kind of hard to cut Holton, man, if he continues to play like that. That's all I'm saying. This is going to be some very interesting battles, you know, at the tight end spots. Because Gentry looked solid. You know, not a whole lot of opportunity, but he looked decent when he caught the ball. Wide receiver spot is definitely going to be up for grabs. I mean, I'm getting excited, man, just seeing that these guys were playing pretty well. Now, here's a couple other guys who were playing well. Gilbert. Did y'all see that interception Ulysses Gilbert got at the end, near the end of the game? And what did we say? What did we say, and what did I definitely tell you guys on Terrible Towel Tuesday when we were scouting these guys? Remember what I was talking about where he excelled was pass coverage. In coverage, they always had him, lined up on the slot guy, whatever. We saw it tonight. Undercuts the route, gets the interception on the 2-point conversion try. Stuff like that will allow you to make the team. Now, your boy Spillane was out there making some plays too, but I think Gilbert, his athletic ability and the fact that he did make some plays and he got that interception, that's going to keep him ahead, in my opinion. He's going to keep him ahead of a guy like Spillane. Spillane might end up on the practice squad. And Medikevich had a fairly decent game tonight too. Got a forced fumble on a sack. Guys were looking good out there. And this other guy, Skipper, I don't even know much about him. He was wearing them at 51. 2 sacks on the night. Hey, man, we got some battles going on. And then definitely we want to talk about Ola. Ola was in the backfield quite often. Okay? He had some opportunities. He had some near sacks. Ola was looking good. Now, again, like Dave Bryan likes to say, these were furniture movers that they were playing against, but still, regardless, you can only go up against whoever's in front of you. Guys look good. There you have it. All right, and the last thing I will say, guys, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. I'll spend a few moments with you guys just to see what y'all got in the chat. But, I just wanted to say this to some people, because I had to calm down my father-in-law, Leonard. He's first series, the defense looks horrible. I'm like, dog, first of all, this is preseason. Second of all, we might have had 3 starters on the field. Hargrave played a little. Bush was out there, which we technically don't know if Bush is going to be the starter. I think he probably will be. Neither one of the starting corners are out there. Excuse me. Sean Davis, I know we're not sitting there trying to judge the defense off of preseason in game 1. So calm down a little bit. That's all I'm saying. It's preseason. A lot of the young guys are out there trying to make the squad. And I was actually pleased with a lot of these guys, man. The only person that didn't really, tickle my fancy, so to speak, was Chooks. Chooks just didn't look that good, man. He didn't look that good. And, to give up some penalties to boot, didn't like that. Didn't like his effort. But everybody else, and I know I might have missed somebody, man, but like I said, I think the standouts tonight to me were James Washington, Johnny Holton, and definitely Devin Bush. Guys who really flashed and jumped off of the screen. Other guys who showed some flash as well was Ola, and I would even say this kid Skipper. Don't know much about him, but those, and Benny Snell. I would put all of those 5 guys are the ones who were standouts to me at first watch. Like I said, I got company here. I'm watching but talking at the same time. So when I go back in and watch it the second time, I can really analyze some of these guys. But really like what I saw out of those guys that I named there. The Dobbs and Mason Rudolph competition is still underway. Dobbs, I think, played worse than Rudolph tonight. and we'll see how it continues to go. A guy like Dirty Red, even though he gets a pressure and gets a forced fumble, I'm still a component of saying let's move into another direction. I think Gilbert is a guy you might want to keep on the squad. That's another raw piece that you'll be able to work with, and I think Justin Lane will be the same way. They're rough around the edges, but I think these guys can be groomed into being some solid players. Bottom line, I think we got some hungry young kids under the starters, and yeah, I'm encouraged by what I saw tonight, for the most part. But all right, let's get into the chat, man, and we're going to get out of here. I'll give you guys about 4 or 5 minutes. Not even that long. I'll give you a few minutes. Kenya, what y'all talking about? You asking somebody, you say you can't be serious, laugh out loud. Samuels was going to be a beast. Yeah, Samuels had a nice run tonight as well. Nays says all the linebackers look good for the most part. Not everybody, but for the most part. Champagne Poppy said, I think Boswell might have really been hurt last year. Very possible, because he definitely looks better now. Rough House Boxing TV says Bush, Washington, Rudolph, Ola, and Ulysses stood out tonight. O-line couldn't open holes for the run game. Kind of concerning. Nothing to be concerned about, man. The starting line didn't play. But I feel what you're saying. But at the end of the day, again, don't look at what you saw as a real representation. That the starting line didn't even play. None of the starters played, if I'm not mistaken, on the line. So you can't, you know what I mean? The second and third stringers were playing. But I feel what you're saying. Christian said Rudolph is the future. Possible. He still has some things to prove. Hodges, decent, Jordan. Hodges didn't do much for me tonight, to be honest. I can't wait to see Deontay on the field. Deontay Johnson, you and me both. And I'm glad the guys like Lane did actually play. I was hoping that Deontay Johnson was going to play, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll see him next week. G. Smithers says, player of the game, AB's old helmet. Man, you clowning. Let's see what else y'all got here. Brian Lagaretta says, Washington showed ball skills and he's going to have opportunities this year. Good to see Boswell making kicks. I absolutely agree with that. Watch and See Me says, Mason looked good. Can't wait for that Washington College connection to evolve. Yep, could be something to pay attention to. Rail Fax is saying something similar. He says, Rudolph in Washington gives me hope for the future after Ben hangs it up. Yep, we could be looking at the makings of something, man. Hopefully it does work out that way. Panero 5 says, go Steelers. Salute to the Michigan boys, Bush and Zach. Oh, and win even if we play the trash Pats. Okay. All right, about 2-3 more minutes, man. Like I said, I got to get out of here, man. I got company here, man, Got to get out of here. Matt Brummel says, you think we could still pick up another tight end? It's possible. It's possible. It all depends on how well Gentry plays throughout the preseason. Because the Steelers are pretty much comfortable with Vance McDonald. Obviously, I think they're semi-comfortable with X-Man. If Gentry continues to show some promise, we'll probably hold tight with just those three, but we shall see. Rod Young says our inside linebacker look amazing. Gilbert, Spillane, Bush, Barrett, they look pretty good, didn't they? Spillane looked pretty good, man. He's probably going to end up on the practice squad, but Spillane looked decent. I won't say he was great, but he looked. I liked him. I liked what I saw out of his effort more than I ever had with Medikevich, if that makes sense, particularly in pass coverage. He was around the ball a lot. Wish Allen could have had a better chance to start. Yeah, and I don't remember seeing, did you guys see P.J. Locke? I don't remember seeing P.J. Locke. I don't remember seeing Locke. So, we'll see. And somebody says Mac Wilson played like trash with the Redskins. Yeah, Spillane got some wheels. Oh, you did see Locke. Okay. Y'all said Locke got cut already? When did he get cut? Somebody said he got cut and everybody else saying he was on the field. So one of y'all ain't paying attention. But I'll pay attention to it again, man. Oh, number 24. One of the 24s was Locke. Okay. Yeah, because there was two 24s. There was obviously Snell, and then there was another 24 out there. Okay, so I did see the 24 on defense quite often, so I'm gonna have to definitely hone in on him and check him out when I watch the game again. So all right, guys, man, like I said, sorry for the quick show, but again, for you guys that came in late, I have family that came in tonight from New York. They got here a few hours ago. We ate dinner. I told them I was gonna do this. Don't want to hold them, I don't want to be, y'all know. So that's why I didn't take any calls or anything tonight. I just wanted to talk to y'all really quick, man, just so we can reintroduce the post-game show. You can expect this from now on throughout the preseason and obviously throughout the duration of the season. We're back. Football is back, baby. Our Steelers look pretty good tonight. They got us a win. There you have it. So I'm even more excited about training camp and the rest of preseason because, Devin Bush looked like a dog out there. I'm going to tell you right now. As much as I was happy about Washington, it's his second year. I expect to see some change from him and even some other guys. But Devin Bush in particular made me very proud tonight for the time that he was out there. He looked worthy of that #1 pick. So I'm very excited about that. So there you have it, man. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. But before I do, of course, guys, if you feel free, if you care to donate, you can do so right here at YouTube. Click the $ down in the bottom left corner of the chat. If you prefer to do it outside of YouTube, which I prefer that because YouTube won't be in my pocket. There is a PayPal option as well as a Cash App option. It's all in the description. No obligation, but I always have to at least say that if you care to donate, that's how you can do so. Other than that, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, cut on your notifications, hit that like button, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. And in the words of my brother Tony, because Tony says this all the time, Bush be busting out there. Absolutely, Tony. We're going to definitely talk, man. I'll probably hit you up sometime tomorrow. But all right, guys, love y'all, man. Quick in and out. Catch you guys later. For sure, we'll talk about it on Tuesday. If anything else special breaks, we'll do something special before Tuesday. But outside of that, I'll definitely be back on Tuesday for Terrible Towel Tuesday. All right, y'all have a good night. Be safe. God bless. And thank you guys for tuning in. Peace. Here we go, Steelers. Yes, sir.